All right. Well, good evening once again, everyone. Owen Fritzen here, back in the seat with you here on this Friday evening, coming live mainly for a destructive, severe thunderstorm warning that is impacted here for portions of the Mid-Ohio Valley. We are going to get down to that right now. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Basically, what we got going on is a severe thunderstorm warning within a severe thunderstorm warning for portions here of the Mid-Ohio Valley. So we're going to look at that right now. We're going to jump in here to the southern part of Ohio. People down in the Wilmington area, you need to take a heads up to this because this is a destructive here, severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued coming right over the Wilmington site right now. Let's flip over here to our base velocity scan and let that queue up here just a minute. So once we probe this here just a little bit, give me 1 second here, see if we can get some numbers up on the probe count once it loads up. But this area right here coming into Wilmington, and it's still sweeping in, so apologies there that it won't. But we are seeing 85 to 90 mile an hour wind gusts with this storm cell right here in Wilmington. So heads up to you folks here for this severe thunderstorm warning. They're saying the max wind gusts of 80 miles an hour. The radar pegged it at 90 miles an hour just a few scans ago. So that bright orange box in your screen, that is where we're talking about this destructive destructive severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect here until 10 o'clock. So you need to really be, and we're seeing a little bit of scattering going on because it's so close to the radar site as it moves over Wilmington right now. But there is a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in southwestern Fayette County, Clinton County, north central Highland County, until 10 o'clock, this severe thunderstorm warning goes. 80 mile an hour wind gusts and $half size hail. This is now considered a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. They have a couple different categories now. We have considerable damage. The damage threat on this one by the National Weather Service is considered destructive. That's why we came back live here. So essentially we have a warning within a warning for this particular destructive area in orange of 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts on the latest scan that we're seeing here probed from the radar site. So this is a low-end EF0 or an EF1 type wind gust that is with this. So we're seeing some winds there, again, moving in one direction, which is a good sign, not any kind of type of tornadic threat here with this particular little cell that's producing 80 mile an hour wind gusts. But it is producing destructive winds here for you in the Wilmington area. So if you are anywhere in this severe thunderstorm warning area, and again, as it moves to the radar site, you're going to start to see it scatter. That's a normal process, so we can't really see it now. See if I can turn on the terminal. I'm not sure if I can see the terminal on that one or not, maybe on another screen. But as it moves into that area, you're seeing it probing at about 80 to 90 mile an hour. So if you're anywhere in this area, again, for our severe thunderstorm warning that is considered destructive now, and that's not my words, that's the National Weather Service words, for southwestern Fayette County, Clinton County, and north central Highland County. That goes until 10 o'clock tonight. So this, again, is moving off to the east about 40 miles an hour. This is in the exact wording from the National Weather Service, which they don't do this very often, but they are saying destructive. You see that tag right there in the actual text box itself. It says this is a destructive storm for Clinton County with 80 mile an hour wind gusts and $half size hail. You're getting into hurricane type winds along with this, like I said, a low EF0, EF1 tornado type winds. That's what we're seeing here with this flank on this particular storm. Again, there is a good sign with this. It's not necessarily, again, having rotations for tornadoes, but anytime we see this type of wind gusts, this is destructive. Okay, this is just as destructive, if you will, as a tornado warning. So this is just something that that we're seeing, again, not seeing much in the terms of rotation, but again, when you see this type of tag, destructive tag, you can see damage even in excess of what low-end tornadoes can do. So you need to heed this very carefully. You need to pretty much treat this like a severe thunderstorm warning / tornado warning. You need to get inside, stay away from windows. I would get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and outside as possible as well. because, again, this is considered destructive. And the reason I'm very animated about this is we don't see this very often in Ohio, okay? This is once in every 3-4 year type of tag that they've been tagging here with the term destructive. I haven't seen the term destructive in over 2 years, I think. So not 100% on that, but this is just enough instability. The destructive area right now is going right over the radar site, so we're not able to pick that up. So right there in the dead center, okay, right over Wilmington, at the National Weather Service office there, it's moving right over that particular area right now. So we're continuing to watch this. We're continuing to monitor this. We're continuing to get updates here from the National Weather Service. But again, you need to make sure that you heed the advice carefully. I'll kind of zoom out here for you. We'll kind of go back out here to the default view, kind of across Ohio. I'll flip back over here quickly to reflectivity, kind of show you what's going on. We have this line of, and please ignore the tornado vortex signatures. I'll turn those off. I don't want anybody to get too excited when they see that. Please ignore that. That's a very low end rotation, so please ignore that. But we are seeing here, along this lines, even up here in northern Ohio, if I flip over to the Cleveland radar site, portions of Seneca, Hancock County, Wyandotte County, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. You're not seeing much in the terms of really any rain. You're seeing some gusty showers with this, but some very strong winds. And also in portions of the extreme west portion of Ohio, up here for our friends up here, we have a blowing dust advisory, which is something we don't see very often as well. So that's kind of a new one for Ohio, seeing a blowing dust advisory as well. So we do, if you're across this line, if you're anywhere in this area, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. You see they trimmed that one back here. They trimmed Hancock County out, and they also trimmed Seneca County out of that severe thunderstorm warning. But they are still looking here, down here for that southern flank here of this particular storm. So you kind of see that little bit of the bowing structure. So it is indicative of some very strong winds on the northern side. And look at this over Wilmington. Man, the last scan or two, look at that coming back in. I'll zoom back in. The really deep, dark purple that's coming back on reflectivity right now over Wilmington, indicative of some decent-sized hail that could be going on there as well. So we need to make sure, again, you don't let your guard down on that as well. So definitely keep your guard up. We'll go ahead and flip back over to base velocity and kind of look at the winds. Looks like they've spawned out a little. Oh, I'm actually on the wrong radar site. Sorry. Let me go back here to Wilmington. Let's see if that's got out of the loop yet, or out of the cone of silence. And so it's just very, there it is. It's coming out of the cone of silence right now. So kind of how that was working is you can kind of see here, this kind of came through. Obviously, we hit the cone of silence where the radar beam can't see it. It is starting to exit out of that cone of silence right there right now. So we need to be very, very careful with this. If you're in this area, this is considered a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, this is not something that we see very often. I've seen this once or twice in Ohio in my time of broadcasting, so I get very animated for this because this means 80-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts and winds are possible with this. And again, that is indicative of even low EF0, EF1 type tornadoes, and even getting into the hurricane force type winds. So we are watching this very closely. That's why we came live. The rest of the rest of the area's wind gusts were up to about 60 miles an hour across the rest of the line, and it was starting to fan out, which was a good sign. It was starting to lose that rotational type of structure, and it was starting to kind of gust itself out, which is very good. But we are continuing to watch this line, and you're not down. You're not out of the loop yet if you're in the Miami Valley, because we're tracking some storms here, again, back in Indiana that is approaching the Miami Valley again. So you're not totally in the clear, and that's why they have not let the severe thunderstorm watch, tornado watch. That's why they've not let the tornado watch drop. You can kind of see, I do have the watches turned on. You see the one up here for the northern flank of the state. That severe thunderstorm watch that was issued earlier is gone. We only have a tornado watch that remains in these portions of this darkish yellowish color. So I'll go ahead and turn off the radar so you can kind of see that. Although orange polygons indicative of severe thunderstorm warnings, but if you're in this darkish, greenish, yellowish color, that is, again, a tornado watch that's in effect until 3 a.m. The people back here in the Miami Valley are not in the clear because we are watching some storms fire up here on the backside of this storm, moving into the Miami Valley. So we got to watch that, and we still have that untapped potential of maybe some more stronger storms here for the Miami Valley, kind of a 1-2 punch that we're seeing here as this moves off towards the east. So you need to heed this very seriously, especially if you're down in the Wilmington area for this destructive severe thunderstorm warning. The rest of these warnings, I'll pop the radar back on, but the rest of the warnings itself are not tagged even. We have a couple different levels. We kind of have our regular severe thunderstorm warning, and then we have our considerable damage, and then we have a destructive damage. So that's what we have. We're kind of at the max peak of this, and we're at that area. Now, the Storm Prediction Center did put out a mesoscale discussion about extending the severe thunderstorm watch and or tornado watch, but they have not done that. They have kind of been silent. So there's not any new information on that right now. So we're kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen with that. But again, you need to just heed that advice, even if you're out ahead of it. You know, you don't really need a watch box to tell you that the weather is coming, okay? So you're all very smart. That's why you're all on this broadcast right now. We're giving you that heads up. So you really don't need that watch box. It is probably coming for you. So you see this nice bowing structure coming out of the Wilmington site right now. This is this destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So again, damage threat is they had it destructive. The latest update, they're at considerable. So now they're back to 70+ mile-an-hour winds, which is very strong winds, and it could tick up. You see coming out of there, you see that darker purplish color. You can see that, and that is also indicative of some small hail with this as well. So a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 10 p.m. for southwestern Fayette, central Clinton counties, and north central Highland counties, again, until 10 o'clock. So you need to make sure that you heed that advice. Again, they tagged this originally destructive. They're down to considerable, which means between 70 and 80 mile-an-hour wind gusts are possible with this storm cell. So it's back down just a little bit, but still very, very gusty and a very dangerous situation for those folks there in southwestern Fayette and central Clinton counties, along with portions of north central Highland counties. That is the prime spot that we're watching right now, because again, this can consider and do damage just like a tornado damage, if you will. So it's very interesting. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has came in on. You kind of see it draw on the box here up here near Mount Vernon. So we'll be looking at that one here in just a minute. Again, with radar, not seeing, you're kind of just seeing this embedded showers with some lightning. But again, it's more of a very strong wind event that's going on here for tonight. So that's the biggest concern right now. As far as the tornado threat, it has dropped down considerably here for this evening. So that's a good sign. So a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued on the northern flank for Richland County, eastern Marion County, Morrow County, Crawford County, and Knox County until 10:30 this evening. So that, again, they're indicating on that newest severe thunderstorm warning that I have highlighted up there, they're indicating 60 mile-an-hour wind gusts with that storm cell. So they're not indicating as strong winds as we have down here in the Wilmington area. So what you're seeing is a severe thunderstorm within a severe thunderstorm warning, I should say. So a severe thunderstorm warning, and then they add another one inside of it. I know it's confusing. Believe me, I get it. But they do call that out because when they hit that destructive level, they call out that new severe thunderstorm warning, so it gives people the proper precautions. And basically, in my mind, as a weather guy and doing this for many years, is you should treat it as a tornado warning. So, kind of looking here, we're looking through some of the storm reports coming in. Wilmington says they had a 3/4 inch hail there in Clinton County. Thunderstorm wind damage back in Choctaw Lake, Madison County. Some tree limbs have been down there. Seeing 1 inch hail in Butler County earlier. Butler County again, 1.25 or 1 1/4 inch hail. So we're seeing a lot of hail there. Back earlier, we had a 51 and a 53 mile an hour wind gusts coming out of Montgomery and Auglaize County. And so that's some of the reports that we're seeing. We also are seeing some reports back earlier. Preble County had some poles down earlier as well. So we are continuing to watch that. And again, especially for the Miami Valley, they have not, again, dropped the tornado watch, and they won't, because we do have this little line behind it that has creeped up kind of on the backside. It has just enough instability left, and I'll pop the watch box back up. They're keeping this alive for the Miami Valley. Otherwise, they would have started dropping it, but they're going to keep it live here as this new storm cell approaches the Miami Valley once again, and if there's any other types of cells with it. So kind of my best guess, the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has a mesoscale discussion out. I could turn that on. You see this potential right there. This is what they've identified as severe potential. This mesoscale discussion that they're saying, they were looking at maybe issuing another watch. However, they have not done that as of this point. But this is where they're highlighting that severe potential. You know, and kind of the thing is, it's kind of one of those things, and being in broadcast weather and meteorology, it's very disheartening to me sometimes, because when are we going to issue that watch? When the storm's already on top of these counties? Because in my opinion, they should be issuing it already. A watch is a watch, which means conditions are favorable. I don't understand why we wait so long to issue a watch for some of these counties. And it's just the frustration out of many weather forecasters in general, is because this should be a watch. The conditions are favorable for severe criteria, yet we kind of play around with it. Maybe, maybe not. And we're going to wait till the first tier. You can kind of see that first line is already in the mesoscale discussion and almost out of the watch box before we issue the watch box again. So we get a little bit frustrated with that right now. So it's just what it is. But right now, that's kind of what we got going on. I'm going to go ahead and turn back off the mesoscale discussions here for you. And so we're kind of still waiting to see what happens and see if anything else comes in from the Storm Prediction Center right now. Give me 1 second here. We got a new warning coming in.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued for Clinton, Fayette, Greene, Highland, Madison, Pickaway, and Ross counties in Ohio until 10:45 p.m.
So they went ahead and issued another severe thunderstorm warning that'll be popping up on your screen. And at the same time, they issued a watch. My goodness, I was complaining, and guess what? There goes the watch. So severe thunderstorm warning, a new one for Clinton County, Fayette County, Greene County, Highland County, Madison, Pickaway, and Ross counties until 10:45. Kind of see that. Basically, that's the new warning out ahead of this. Most of these are going to be expired here very shortly. But out ahead of this here, Washington Courthouse, you're getting blasted right now. Chillicothe, heads up to you. Again, very, very strong winds as well. So finally, they issued the watch. Nothing like these first-tier counties not having any notice, because that's what a watch is supposed to do. But let's go ahead and turn off the radar once again. I'll show you the new watch that's been issued here. So anywhere in this pink area, you can see a new severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 4 a.m. They're calling out hazardous wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour for this new particular watch. And again, it's not to some fault. I just think it's some parameter issues that we have. Is, these storms are already in the watch area. So what was the point of the watch? So when they issue it too late, that's just my gripe, and this has always kind of been my gripe, especially for Ohio. It seems like we issue, like last week or the week before, we issued a severe thunderstorm watch and a severe thunderstorm warning at the same time in the same county, which I thought was wonderful. I don't know how we do that. It's a little frustrating. But anyway, that's my pet peeve. But let's get back into what we got going on and why we came live. We came live for this destructive area down here down here near Wilmington. The good thing is that severe thunderstorm warning has been dropped down. They went ahead and reissued another one, and you can see out ahead of this, you can see some very strong returns for some hail coming out of this. And you can see the local hail report that came out of Wilmington there. They're saying 0.8 inches there for the hail. So kind of looking here at the returns, we're getting some very, very strong returns out of this area. So some pretty torrential downpours. The new warning, they backed this down to 70 mile an hour with considerable damage. So again, even though we're not at that destructive anymore, you need to be heeding that, because these other storms and these other severe thunderstorm warnings out to the north, these are only up to 60. And then again, the new one they issued here for portions of central Ohio, this one is only up to 60 as well. So the prime show right now is going on down here in this new warning that they just issued, up to 70 mile an hour wind gusts, which is considerable damage versus the one that we had just a few minutes ago in the same area, which was destructive. So the new severe thunderstorm warning again is for portions of Fayette County, northeastern Clinton County, Pickaway County, Greene County, northeastern Highland County, southern Madison County, and northern Ross County. That goes until 10:45 for the severe thunderstorm warning that you have there on your screen. Again, this is considered considerable damage, so this is the real deal. So for you folks out there, you need to make sure that you heed that advice. So back behind this for Butler County, so they just issued, you heard it on your screen, they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning that will be popping up on your screen to the southern flank of this. Back towards Cincinnati, you'll see the warning pop up here in just a minute for southeastern Butler County, southern Warren County, and Clinton County until 10:45. They're going quarter-size hail and 60 mile an hour wind gusts with this storm cell. So again, you folks in the southeastern Butler County, southern Warren County, and Clinton County, you have a new severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 10:45. So if you're joining us again, kind of reset here a little bit. I'll kind of jump back out to the overall view and kind of show you what's going on. We have a line of severe thunderstorms, and sometimes you can't even say it's thunderstorms, like gusty showers. Let's turn on the lightning real quick and show you that. So you kind of see the northern flank has some lightning, but there's a lot more lightning down here, a lot more positive strikes down here in the southern flank. This is the real deal when it comes to lightning and rain and wind. So the biggest thing is down here for the folks moving towards Chillicothe and Washington Courthouse. Like Washington Courthouse is getting rocked right now. And they're getting potential winds up to 70 miles an hour with that storm cell. So kind of what we got going on here. I'll start with the warnings up here on the northern flank. If you're just joining us here, you're seeing some decent rain and a couple thunder showers, but gusts up to 60 miles an hour. So not as potent and not as strong, but definitely could do a little bit of damage. We are getting, we did get a report of 60 mile an hour wind gusts coming out of a ASOS station, so an automated weather station, if you will, automated observation station out of Marion. They got a 60 mile an hour wind gust out of Marion, right there in Marion, Ohio, actually 4 miles northeast of Marion, Ohio. So that's probably what prompted this northern severe thunderstorm warning for Richland County, eastern Marion County, Morrow County, Crawford County, and Knox County. That goes until 10:30. Again, up to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. Kind of moving down here in the Columbus metro area for this next severe thunderstorm warning down the line. This one goes until 10:30 for, again, the Columbus metro area and portions of Delaware counties. So let's go ahead and rattle this one off for you. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 10:30 for our folks there in Franklin, northern Pickaway, Delaware, eastern Union, northeastern Madison counties, and in central Ohio. 9:54, the National Weather Service located this line basically right along Sterling, and it continues to push east. But again, 60 mile an hour wind gusts, you can see on your screen there. That is what that one is about. And then we have the newest one. I'm going to go to the newest one and then come back to the one here for Washington Courthouse, because that's the most destructive right now, or severe. The newest one that came in here down, this one looks very kind of weird shape that they got going on here. But the newest one for this one is for southeastern Butler County, southern Warren County, Clinton County until 10:45. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So they did up the hail threat with this one. We haven't been seeing a lot of hail this evening as far as large hail. We've seen a lot of small hail, but not seen a lot of reports of very, very large hail. But you can kind of see some of these local storm reports coming in here, magnitude of 1-inch hail down in the Butler County. So we're seeing that as well. So we're seeing a lot of hail that's coming in, hail reports coming in down in this area. And then back near Wilmington, again, National Weather Service got 1-inch hail as well. So, but we weren't seeing those huge hail reports that we thought we could have seen or could see potentially up to 2+ inches, which is a good sign. And this has turned into more of a straight line wind event. We haven't seen any tornado warnings really here in Ohio actually at all, which is a good sign. But brings us to that last severe thunderstorm warning in Ohio for you folks in Washington Courthouse right now. It's getting rocked. Circleville, you're next, and Chillicothe, you're on deck as well. So we have this other severe thunderstorm warning. It's the last one that I'm going to talk about here in the center here. This one was tagged destructive, which meant wind gusts over 80 miles an hour. That's a low-end EF0, EF1 tornado damage threat. Okay, that's how strong those winds are, and you're actually getting into hurricane force winds if you get into the 90s. So we pegged on radar 90+ miles an hour very shortly just before it hit Wilmington. So it was very, very strong. They've backed that down to the next tier, if you will, of a severe thunderstorm warning. They dropped it down to a considerable tagged severe thunderstorm warning, which means up to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and they also have quarter-size hail on that one as well, and a lot of lightning in with this one as well. So heads up to you, Washington Courthouse. You better be in your safe shelter, if you will, and we treat these ones very seriously, especially when it has that history of being destructive. You pretty much treat that like a tornado warning. You want to make sure that you stay safe because, again, winds blowing around 80+ miles an hour can do quite a bit of damage. Right now, they backed it down to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, which is a good sign. It's weakened just a little bit, but you can't let your guard down with this one. You need to be inside, away from windows. And especially because there's a lot of lightning, and I don't have the lightning turned on. But there's a ton of lightning with this as this rocks Washington Courthouse. Again, if you're in Mount Sterling, you're going to catch some of this. Asheville, Circleville, Clarksburg, Kingston, Frankfort, Chillicothe, you're on tap. You'll be seeing, probably feeling the wind gusts right now, but you're going to be seeing and feeling some of those embedded wind gusts here very, very shortly. Finally, I'll come back out here and kind of talk about the severe thunderstorm watch and the tornado watch that they finally issued. They finally issued the tornado watch from earlier. So let's go ahead and turn the radar back off here and show you. They have a new severe thunderstorm watch that goes here for this area in pink that goes until 4 a.m. and then the existing tornado watch that goes until 3 a.m. For this line of storms that is moving through. But the good thing is the tornado threat has considerably weakened, which was fantastic news for us. We'll take it. Kind of looking at the reports, you see a lot of tornado reports back here in Indiana. I found one thing a little very ironic. If I turn on the Storm Prediction Center, and I know there's a lot going on here, let me turn off the watch box. But if I turn on the categorical outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, they said moderate, then the enhanced and the slight. And this, again, they nailed it this morning. Look at where the tornado reports came in, right there, right along that moderate line, which is right where they expected. So they nailed that as far as the tornado reports, tornado warnings and things. There was some tornado warnings outside of this, but as far as the reports go, it looks like they pretty much nailed this one right now. We could maybe have some just outside of this, but very well done by the Storm Prediction Center on the categorical outlook for today. They kind of nailed that one, so kudos to them on that. If we can get the watches straightened out, we'll be all set. Let's turn on the radar once again here, and we'll go back down to Wilmington because that's where we're having our damage, considerable damage tag for the severe thunderstorm warning. If you're joining us, they let go of the destructive tag. The winds have since calmed down just a little bit, move back down to that next category of up to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If I flip on the radar here, velocity, you could see this embedded line. You kind of see it's a line, straight line now, with embedded markers up to potentially, we could be seeing there 50, 60 miles an hour, but early we pegged it at about 90 something miles an hour. So starting to behave itself once again, which is a good thing, but we'll have to keep a close eye on it. I believe we just got a new, let me double check. I believe we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Delaware County, Fairfield, Franklin, and Licking counties. So we did just get a new one there. So I'll zoom back out here, and we'll go ahead and put on back the reflectivity, see the intense portion of the rain and what's going on there. But they went ahead and issued another severe thunderstorm warning here that goes until 11 p.m. for Delaware, Fairfield, Franklin, and Licking until 11 o'clock, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts on this new severe thunderstorm warning, again, for eastern Franklin, northern Fairfield, southeastern Delaware, and Licking counties until 11 o'clock. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts is what's indicated in this storm as well. So the biggest thing is, if you're watching, and I don't want to freak you out, I was very animated when it came to that destructive tag, because that was something I'm very curious to see what we get on that tomorrow, and if we have any damage reports out of that, because that was very, very strong winds of up to 90-mile-an-hour winds. That's something 80-mile-an-hour winds. We pegged it at, I think I pegged it at 95. That was radar indicated, so it may not reach the ground that high, but man, back there for Clinton County, poof. We'll have to wait and see what comes out of there. So that's why we came live, and we were very animated about that before. So again, that we do have that new severe thunderstorm warning, and I would indicate and kind of be indicative of what we're going to see here over the next several hours is we're going to see this line as it approaches. You're going to see severe thunderstorm warnings be issued for this. Again, you'll see some lightning, but mainly along the northern flank of this line, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It can do some damage, but not what we went live for down here in Clinton. Well, it was portions of Clinton County near Wilmington. We went live down here because this one's still tagged considerable damage, which indicates wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. So for Fayette, Pickaway, and east central Clinton counties and portions of Highland County there for you as well. So definitely make sure that you get inside, stay away from windows. We are watching this, and this is why the tornado watch hasn't been dropped yet. You're starting to see this front move through, and we can take it because we're going to see a lot of relief come through, which is very good as far as terms of cool weather coming next week. A lot of us will hang out in the 60s next week, struggle to break 70 next week, and some rain chances, but a lot more stable atmosphere next week for most of us across Ohio. If you're in, we're kind of waiting to see what happens with this little cell that could back here in Indiana. It's approaching Preble County and Darke County. So Darke County and Preble County, it's approaching you folks coming out of Richmond right now. It is for Indiana that has a severe thunderstorm warning on it. That's why they haven't dropped the tornado watch, because of this secondary line that has been created with this. And this one is definitely, you kind of look at it here, this one definitely has some small hail. You can see the deep dark purples there right over Richmond, deep dark purple. And again, we'll go ahead and pop up the warning on. This is for Indiana, though. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and up to 1-inch size hail. But this secondary line is the reason that the tornado watch has not been dropped for portions of the Mid-Ohio Valley. They continue to drop other counties out of the watch as they feel necessary, and they will continue to do that here. And you can see some of these northern ones did get dropped out. But we do have this new one as this Boeing-type structure comes for you here in the eastern portion of the state. So bottom line is, hey, it's going to be windy. You all know that. Most of us are under a watch or have been under a watch today. You need to make sure that you consider that, and you need to make sure that you continue to watch that. I'm going to hang here for just a minute because I see tornadic activity in this Richmond cell. I'm going to hang here for just a minute. There we go. Tornado warning issued. So, bam, I called it, and there it is. So we're going to hang here because a tornado warning has been issued for Delaware, Henry, and Randolph counties until 11 p.m. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Wayne County, Darke County, Miami County, Montgomery County, and Preble County. That is for a severe thunderstorm warning. So, look at that latest scan coming up. And so I'm going to show you, if I can try to show you here. I know this warning should be coming in here shortly. I'm not sure if it's popped on the screen. There comes the severe thunderstorm warning, waiting for the tornado warning to come in. But there is a tornado warning that will be coming in here shortly. It has been issued.
Alert. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Dark, Miami, Montgomery.
Or maybe that was the watch. Hold on one second. I might have got that confused. Yeah, sorry, the watch. So no tornado warning. I'm sorry, no tornado warning. But I'm telling you, they have issued this, and let's see if they tag this tornado possible. They have not, which is kind of shocking to me. So this new warning, I apologize. I'm going to show you another screen here. Give me 1 second. You can kind of see what I see. Maybe. So you kind of see this 4 box here. Yeah, you can see that. Good. So here's what I'm looking at. Okay, coming out of Wilmington, up here in Richmond, and this new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for east central Wayne, northern Preble, southern Dark, northwestern Montgomery, and southwestern Miami. This is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. But as I zoom in on here, it's a little bit dirty, but we are starting to see a little bit of some embedded rotation in here. You kind of see this screen down here. This is something called normalized rotation that we watch, and we be very careful with this. So we are keeping a close eye on this for the potential of it maybe having a little bit of rotation. So we are watching this one. That's what caught my eye there before I said we were about ready to wrap it up. But I want to keep on here for just a minute to see, if we're seeing much in the way of rotation or not. Depends, I guess, on where you look at it from, but we are keeping a very close eye on that one. We'll flip you back to our other radar product, but that's the area that we're keeping a very close eye on here right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to continue to see if I can talk to some people on the backside and see if, this storm cell, it definitely is worth watching here. I'm typing a question into some people that are helping me behind the scenes, spotting some stuff for me. So we are watching, again, that Richmond area very, very closely. So we are going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to hang with you here for just a second. You also are seeing some of the damage reports that are coming up on your screen as well, which is kind of neat. So you'll see those automatically kind of populate on the overlay once in a while. So this is the storm cell we're continuing to watch. It's why I'm hanging for just a minute to see as this crosses here into Ohio. So I'm looking at this and just keeping a very close eye. We're seeing some strong winds and some small hail with this, but I want to make sure that there's not much in the way of rotation. I'm seeing some, again, still on the other product that I look at. It gives me a little bit clearer picture on things, but am watching that one here to see if there isn't some minor rotation occurring there in that storm. And it's kind of riding where the tornadic part is, riding right along the line. So let's go ahead and look at the velocity, see if that shows up. Yeah, we're kind of watching this back here, see if that tightens up or not. So we're keeping a very, very close eye on this one as well. So with that being said, know that we're watching this. Know that we continue to watch all of these storms. And out ahead of this line, you're seeing that severe threat of 60 miles an hour. Wind gusts, and down here Chillicothe is really getting ready to get rocked. You can kind of see this very, very clearly down here for portions of Clinton County. Washington Courthouse is finally out of it. We are getting reports back in Richmond, Indiana, where we just resumed in, of hail covering the road there from a spotter. We have our own meteorologist, Zach Batten, is actually down there spotting. And so he's watching that storm very closely, and he's saying there's hail that is all over the roadway. So, again, another sign that we have to keep a very close eye on this as it continues to move off into portions of Ohio. So, again, we're watching it. We're continuing to watch it. And we'll have to wait and see. I think we could get another, maybe a tornado warning out of this. But again, they went ahead and issued a severe thunderstorm warning out of it right now. But again, we will continue to watch this and come back live as we need to. Before we go, I know a lot of people are asking about my house. What about this county and this county and that county? It's impossible to cover all of you guys, and I apologize, but 88 counties and thousands of cities in Ohio, it's just impossible. But with that being said, you can track it with our app if you'd like, and you can get the warnings as well. You can download the Ohio News and Weather app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Make sure, again, too, tonight that you have a way to receive warnings. Okay, make sure that you're prepared. Go to the lowest level of your house if there were to be a tornado warning issued, and also be prepared for weather alerts. Make sure you have multiple ways. No weather radio. Make sure you have extra batteries for that, and make sure they're ready to go. Shoes, flashlight, cell phone, that sort of thing. And charge your devices, especially if you're out ahead of this. Put your cell phone on the charger right now. It'd be a very good idea, just in case you lose power, because we are seeing some power outages as well with the majority of these storms as well. So with that being said, not going to stay live because I don't want to overhype anything. We were on for that destructive severe thunderstorm warning that really got going there for portions basically of Clinton County. Was really rocking and rolling there. Up to 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts is kind of what we were pegging out right there before. And there is some good sign. I'm just looking here at the possible rotation there that was coming into Ohio. The latest scan has pretty much dropped that off. So hopefully it will stay at bay here for the next few hours. But know that we're continuing to watch this. Continue to join us live as we come live. Make sure you download the app, and we'll continue to be here. The warnings post automatically to our page. We are here. We are watching this as well. We'll continue to come back live as we need to. But for right now, we're taking a quick break, and we'll come back live as we need to here throughout the evening hours.